We open with a bland blonde guy, a black green beret, and a ninja standing on a runway. I think I've heard this joke before. A plane comes in too close and the blonde guy, whose name is Duke, says this.
I'm gonna kick the mustard out of that crazy hot dog.
The cockpit opens, the pilot takes off his helmet to reveal, "What? A girl? Flying a plane? In 1983? You've come a long way, baby." We get a tiny bit of will they won't they between her and Mr. Bland. Spoiler, they won't. It's a kid's show from 1983. Then the invading forces attack. Cobra! Oh right, it's Major Blood. For some reason when I think back on G.I. Joe, I always forget that there was an evil guy with an eye patch and a Cockney accent. Which is weird. That's usually exactly the kind of thing I would remember. The Cobras wreck the Joe's new planes and then haul ass back to their castle. Their castle! A mysterious hooded figure approaches, sticks his hand inside a snake, and reveals himself to be Destro, a dude with an iron face, no shirt, and a really cool voice. And speaking of cool voices, I almost forgot how menacing Cobra Commander sounded in the beginning, before Chris Latta just started doing the same voice for him in Starscream. Destro shows off key elements he's gathered to power the mass device. We don't know what it does yet, but it's a pretty great thing for Cobra Commander to say, mass device. Also, we're told that it's the first step towards Cobra's domination of, no kidding, the universe. He was a bit more ambitious in the beginning too, I think. Next, Duke and his boss meet with a woman from the General Accounting Office who demands to know if the proper forms have been filled out. Hey, I used to work in government bureaucracy. This stuff is more important than you think. General Flag, no seriously, that's his name, asks Duke to have the Joes guard some kind of experimental satellite. And by guard, he apparently means break into to prove that it can't be broken into. Or something, I don't know. I was hoping we'd meet more of the team through this little operation, but I guess it's just Stalker, Scarlet, and Snake Eyes so far. You might know them by their official sub-team name, the guys whose names start with S. The General is satisfied by their infiltration, reasoning that if the three of them could make it in, a large team of people definitely could not. No, that's really what he says. No, it doesn't make sense to me either. The group has a look at the satellite, and the bureaucrat lady drops an earring as they walk back out. An earring with a Cobra symbol on it. This gives Destro a signal to lock onto with his mass device, which he uses to beam a whole bunch of Cobra dudes and tanks to. Then bureaucrat lady peels her face off to reveal... her. A whole bunch of shooting happens and nobody gets hit. This is the first and only time I intend to point that out. Destro beams the satellite back to HQ, grabbing the troops and tanks, Major Blood, the Baroness, and Duke! Whoa-oh! Cobra Commander orders Duke to be taken to the slave pens and prepared for sport. It's nice to see that even a ruthless terrorist organization like this one has time to unwind at the end of the day. Cobra launches the satellite, then interrupts everyone's TV to make a speech. Ah, the classics. They demand that the world governments surrender to them, then demonstrate the power of the mass device by stealing the Eiffel Tower. Sacre bleu! The Joes determine that one scientist might possibly know how the mass device works, so they send 5 helicopters to his house to ask for help. Which I guess is good since Cobra is waiting with like 200 of their own guys. They'd fight for a while and then escape, leaving the scientist dude behind. What, seriously? You couldn't kill him? Or, okay, this is a kid's show. Kidnap him at least? Nope. You're gonna just leave him tied to a tree for your enemies to grab? Well, fine. Meanwhile, in the unimaginatively named Cobra Arena of Sport, Destro uses his new remote-controlled Duke to fight some giant Conan-looking dude. Will Duke die? Will G.I. Joe gather up the elements to build their very own mass device to stop Cobra? Will the Baroness continue being really very super hot? The answers to these questions are no, yes, and very yes.